Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. Y'all, I'm going to be real and say that I typically, usually, regularly do not, and let me cover my baby bed up because he don't be making the bed up. Okay, anyways, I make it up for him. Anyways, this is before the usual time that I would record. But I gotta go ahead and get the dream that I had last night up off my chest, y'all. Yeah, I'm sipping my green tea, y'all, but we're gonna go ahead and get into it. It's like, and it's not to say, green tea is not a necessity. It's not a necessity for me to have this very small amount of caffeine. But anyways, it does help me to wake up, but I had one cup. Anywho, let's get into this message, y'all. Let's get into this message. So, this message is going to come with I'm going to talk about the dream, and then I'm also going to give a testimony of the dream to like kind of explain the dream. Can we sit that back? Okay. Now, let's get into it. In his dream, it was like once again it's a two-part dream. So, and the first part of the dream, I saw myself in a relationship, and the spouse that I was with, he was going out of his way to ruin my success. And it's like I had like a little boutique. And every time he would come in, he would be mean to the customers. He would be mean to anybody that was around. He would belittle me and try to make it seem as though I didn't know what I was talking about and I shouldn't even have a shop. And why would I have a shop? But then on the flip side, expecting that he should be earning something off of my efforts. And his parents would come in after him expecting that they should be receiving some income off of my efforts. That's the first part. The second part, and the second part of this dream, I was basically walking, it's kind of like I was walking towards a crowd of people. Okay. Here on my back. Okay, anyways. I'm walking towards it's like a big crowd of people, and it's a mixture of people. This with friends, family members, just a big group of people. Some of them frenemies, people that, don't even talk to no more, don't even hang with no more. And as I'm walking up to this crowd, it's like these people are basically laughing about what they have done purposely to make my life miserable. And they are enjoying it and they find joy in it and they think that it's funny. And they thought this was funny. They thought that was funny. Everything was funny. While simultaneously waiting on me to pull up, they're expecting me to come like they were expecting me to come the way of an entrance. So they are waiting and they're looking, and while they're looking, they're laughing and they're talking and that ha ha ha, and I'm coming up the back. Okay, I'm coming up the back way. And as I'm coming up the back, I'm able to hear everything they have to say before they even see me. And I was even dressed in a way where they wouldn't expect me to be dressed. So once they realized it was me, they were like, "Oh, there she is." And they're like, "Oh, can you asking for money." Then God spoke to me and said, "This is what I wanted you to see before you received it." Whew. All right. Let me get the scripture. Then we go talk about it. We go get into it. The scripture comes from Proverbs 31:10. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. God said, for whoever this person is for, as I was reading the scripture, you are going to receive, like you're going to get to a level of notability before you get married. And God has proven a point. So, okay. I'm tired, y'all. But I didn't gotta, wash my face, brush my teeth, you know what I'm saying? Took my hair down, you know what I'm saying? Put my little jewelry on. Got dressed a little bit. I'm low-key gonna work out, so I'm possibly gonna switch out my Machino belt for a workout, a waist trainer, but we're not gonna worry about that. Okay. I would have got more dressed though, but I am literally going to work out as soon as I finish recording, y'all. But anyways, so let's get into it. Let's get into the message. Okay. So God said, for whoever this is for, you have experienced people in your life. You have experienced people going out of their way, big reach, to try to tear you down. And this is like, I just feel like full blown Mean Girls vibes, okay? And I know some people will say, well, that's not real life. I can attest to it that it can possibly be real life because, baby, come here, sit down, let's talk. I like, before I got ready to record this video, while I was sipping on my first cup of tea, I'm just being reminded of an experience I had, okay, when I was in my early 20s, okay? Baby, this girl, and like she hated me to such an extent. And at this age that I am now, I don't even understand why I ain't do nothing to her. I was trying to help her. Let her move in with me, even though she was rude. She act like she ain't want to clean up. She was using all of my stuff. And like, you know what I'm saying? Just absolutely the entire time she was just being hateful and mean and hateful. You would have thought that I would have learned from the way she was behaving when I was staying with her that, it's like, and it got to a point to where she was constantly in battle with me. Like she was constantly trying to compete with me, and I didn't understand why. I could not for the life of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a situation where I'm trying to act like I'm better than her or I think I'm better than her. No, I don't. I would be happy for you to go ahead and get a job and get your own place. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like she was constantly in this battle with me. She was constantly. And then it transpired, like it transformed. Cause after I let that apartment go because she just refused to move out. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna go and live back with my mama. And you know what I'm saying? Because I can't. I couldn't, and I refused. Okay, anyways, and the apartment was in the same apartment complex as my mama anyway because I wanted to be right next to my mama. I love her, but anyways, moving on. Okay, so I realized that as it's like she wanted to always be where I was and go where I was going and hang out with me and my friends. I started to realize that this girl, like, and I like Loki didn't realize it until later because she blurted it out, but she was turning people against me. She was spreading rumors about me. She was spreading lies about me. She was doing everything in her power to try to tear me down. Baby, she was trying to sleep with any man that winked at me. She was on it. Baby, she was on it. Like, this is somebody that had such a hatred. Okay? Such a hatred towards me. I halfway think that she tried to turn my mother against me. I wouldn't be surprised because I knew her for such a long time. She knows my mom. So I wouldn't be surprised if she tried that as well. I wouldn't be surprised if her mama was trying to turn my mama against me, because she had such a huge hatred. Like I couldn't believe it. She brought all her family members in on it. She had everybody just going in, and I was like, this is crazy. True psychopathic. Crazy. She put Janice and what was the other girl named Katie to shame. Okay, true born psychopath. Did nothing to her. Tried to help her. Baby. Tried to help her. Baby tried to help her. I remember one time I was hanging out with them. I forgot what it was for. I forgot what it was for. And I was pregnant. And I'm like talking to somebody. They asking me about something. My son's father go outside because he had to take a call. She followed him outside. I'm like, what in the world is she following him out there for? Baby. But you know what I'm saying? According to him, that never happened. Okay, according to him, she not his type. And you know what I'm saying? I take his word. In reality, at this point in time, it wouldn't matter anyway because we not even together no more. But, I'm just going to say it to say, here's the message. There is somebody, okay, that is absolutely, regardless if they got readings on you, regardless if they just be peeping you and they don't like how your life is turning out, they don't like the way your friends love you, they don't like the way your man love you, they don't like the way you whatever it is. And me personally, at that point in time, I was literally doing my thing. I'm working as a nursing assistant. I had 2 jobs, working hard from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. I would working hard. And on my off days, me and my friends, we partied hard and we had a good time. I always had my friends back. I always made sure that I love my friends. That, oh, you don't have no shoes? I got you. Go in my closet and get you some. You ain't even got to give them back. I like, but there are some people that are so mean. They are so nasty and they hate the way their life is going to such an extent that they will hate yours. She didn't like her and her mama had issues. They always fight. They always got this. They always got that. She ain't like the way me and my mother had a relationship. She couldn't stand the way me and my mother's relationship was. She probably couldn't stand the fact that I wanted to stay in the same apartment complex as my mama, because I do. I love my mom. And this is somebody that they are like, and I can't even sit here and say that she failed, because in reality, a lot of things, like a lot of the people I'm not friends with them no more. I don't hang out with them no more because they allowed her to convince them to come against me to such an extent that I don't trust them. I don't rock with them like that. I don't care if they did realize they were being used. I don't care if they did realize this. I don't care if they did peep this and they peeped that. I don't care. We can't roll together no more. We can't be friends no more. How? How that's gonna work? I love you from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. God said that for some of you, there is somebody that was like this. And you may very well have the same kind of situation like me. It's not like Regina George, okay, type vibe, where it's not a situation where this person failed. They succeeded. At what they were trying to do, they did succeed. However, what they did has nothing to do with the success that God has for you. They thought it did. They thought that if they did all that, that you would be done for. And they thought they would just pull you down, and they pulled you off your high horse and you was finished and you was done and you was through. They may even yet still be trying to watch you, trying to see who are you dating, who you gonna marry, who you gonna this, who you gonna that, so they could take out the time, effort, and energy to find this person and tell them this and do this, and they gonna do that, and they got it this and they got it that. God said they will be wasting their time. You will not meet your husband until after you reach your success level. Your success is like, it is going to overshine whatever like whatever marriage and whatever relationship. If you in fact get married, it could be a situation where you are married to Christ, okay? Just like my ring represent, I'm married to Christ. And it could in fact represent married to the church. You know what I'm saying? It could in fact represent that. But for those of you that want to be married, your husband is not going to come at a certain level. Like, this is not going to be somebody that is going to be easily persuaded by somebody that is not on the same level as you. This is not somebody that somebody like this person, even if they did successfully become who you used to be, even if they did successfully, they learned how to dress and they doing this. It's kind of like, I'm being reminded of how in the Mean Girls, how she felt at the end of the movie where she was like, I'm the queen bee now. They're following me now. He's my man now. Yeah, I did it. Even if they did do that, your success is not attached to that. Your success is not attached to what friends you have. Your success is not attached to who loves you and who doesn't. Your success is not attached to who is deliberately going out their way to try to sabotage you. It could be to such an extent that this person even got your mama on their team, to where your mama is going against you and your mama trying to tear up your relationships and your own mama trying to tear down your business. Your own mama trying to come against you. It could even be a situation where your whole family in. It could even be a situation where all your and it don't matter. God say your success is not attached to anybody. It's attached to you. And it's not attached to what you wear. It ain't got nothing to do with how you do your hair. It ain't got nothing to do with all the wigs you used to wear and the makeup and all that. It don't have nothing to do. Even like when I was getting ready to do this video, I had a thought, I'm gonna do a get ready with me, and I said, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not. I'm gonna go bareface. How y'all doing? Okay. Okay. The girl that hit 30, almost about to get some bags, that's fine. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I just feel like God is saying that what he has for you, it is not attached to what this person thinks it is. They think that what God has for you, it has to be attached to materialistic things. It's not. It doesn't matter what car you lost, how many times you lost it. It don't matter what kind of house you lost. It don't matter what items you could have lost. Clothes. This person could have stole clothes. They could have stole this. They could have ruined that. They could have destroyed that. They could have did all kind of things. Your success, what God has for you, it has nothing to do with any of that. They wasting their time. God says you will get to this place here. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spittle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. This is who you are going to be before you meet your spouse. Who you are and what you do ain't going to have nothing to do with that man. Now, it is to say he may admire that about you, which I feel like for whoever, like this is a situation, he is going to admire you for who you are. It's not going to have nothing, like this is not going to be a situation where somebody going to be able to dress up and they got the Skims on and they got the perfect pants and they got the perfect dress and they got this, they got that, and they going to be able to, he ain't going to get confused. It's not going to be a situation where this is somebody that can get confused about who they trying to go after. And even if you were with somebody that tried to go after this person, your success is not attached to that man. This is not going to be a situation where somebody going to be able to tear you down because they have convinced your friends they don't need to be friends with you no more. And they convinced your man that they don't need to be your man no more. And they convinced your mama that they don't need to love you no more. And they convinced your father that he should turn his back. And they convinced this person, that person, and the third. God said don't none of that matter. In reality, just like at the end of the dream, God said he wants you to see all of this before you receive it. Just like in this dream, I was walking the back way. I didn't go the front way. And it's kind of like some people, they receive success immediately. And it's like they would be walking from the front. They wouldn't even know what to expect from who. But this is somebody, you got to get it out the mud, or you got it out the mud. God is walking you in from the back way so you could hear what they got to say before you even get up there. You haven't even got up there. And then once you get up there, they can ask for whatever they want. But you already know who said something, who didn't. You know who side-eyed you and who didn't. You know who was against you and who wasn't. You already peeped game before it even happened. God said it happened for a reason. He did it on purpose. He allowed it to happen on purpose. I know it hurt. I know it hurt. I know it hurt. I just literally told y'all I went through it. I know it hurt. For you to deliberately be trying to help somebody. For you to deliberately be trying to help somebody out of the kindness of your heart. Genuinely. Giving them love. Genuinely. Being a friend. Genuinely. And they turn around and do everything in their power to tear you down. God said it's okay. He let it happen. But watch this. They wasted their time. They wasted their time. And while they were doing that, they didn't even realize they was helping you. Because if these people would turn on you over what this person had to say, we can't imagine what they would do if somebody that was seen as a competitor came to them and said, look, if you did this, that, and the third, I'll pay you such and such amount of money we got to get rid of them because they making too much noise. And I make soaps and they make soaps too. And I don't want them making soaps no more. So I need you to make sure they stop making. Think people won't. Think people won't. And you'll be surprised at who will. It 9 out of 10 be the person that you think you looking up to this person. You thinking this person will be happy for you. You thinking that this person would clap for you. I'm being reminded of J. Cole's song, I Let Nas Down, of how you think the person that you looked up to, the person that you admired their hustle and you always admired them and you always thought, oh, I would love to and I love what they're doing. I'm so happy for them. You like, baby, you'll be surprised how they would look down on you and try to kick you so that you would get lower because they don't want to see you get up there. Think it's a game. It's so many artists, like rappers and artists and models and actors and actresses. They got these stories. Baby, they not all telling a lie. They telling the truth. You'll be shocked at how the people that you think are supposed to be mentoring you, supposed to be helping you, will do things in their power to try to tear you down and throw money here and throw money there and let me get this one and let me get that one. Just like how people will get famous and then now all of a sudden they friend that they had in high school 20 years ago coming out saying, and you know they did this, that, and the third. Don't nobody care about what they did 20 years ago. But they put on their best outfit and went to do an interview because they got to tear that person down. God said He wanted you to see before it happened. He wanted you to know before it happened. He wanted you to be able to see who these people are and how they truly feel about you before it happened. Because guess what? If they could sit around and listen to whoever this person is, convince them that they should do this, that, and the third to you, somebody who loved them, somebody who cared about them, somebody who went out your way to help them, somebody who you genuinely love these people. And they turned their backs on you. They did everything in their power to turn you down, to bring you down, to make you feel as though you are unworthy of the success how your name was already on it. But God said what they thought it was attached to, it ain't even attached to that. They ain't got nothing to do with it. You ain't got to have no makeup for this. You ain't got to have the best outfits for it. You ain't got to have your hair done. You ain't got to have, baby, God said you don't even need all that. I'm being reminded of how when I started prophesying, my hair was wrapped up. I didn't have on no makeup. I barely had any jewelry on. In a tent. You don't need all that for what God have for you. You don't need it. God said when he get ready to bless you with what you supposed to receive, he ain't going to let nobody be able to be attached to it. Ain't nobody going to be able to say what I deserve and I should get and I should get and I deserve. Because if they had it their way, they would do everything in their power to ensure that you don't even get it. So you couldn't help them even if you wanted to. And that sounds appalling. Why would anybody that knows that you want to help them get in your way of getting to the monies you need in order to help them? Because some people just like that. Some people just like that. They don't want to see the day where you are helping them. They don't want to see the day where you buying them extravagant gifts. They don't want to see the day where you going out your way to do this, that, and the third. Baby, let me tell you about life and how I peep it when I remember when I didn't have money like that, and even now, not having money like that, and I can't really do this, and I can't really do that, I peep who act like they mad that I couldn't afford to go and buy them something extravagant. Because if you feel some kind of way, knowing good and well what position I'm in, I don't know what would make you bump your head and think that I'm going to go and buy you something that I don't even have. How? Where? Where is it coming from? The insanity. The nonsense. But if you feel like you gonna make fun of me and you ungrateful for what I did give you, baby, that let me know when I get it. That let me know. Like I just feel like for whoever this is for, God said he wants you to see who is genuine and who is fake, phony, fraud. And like for somebody, you didn't even realize it until this person did this here. You didn't realize that these people that you were surrounded with, you love them. You love them. You would ride for them. They will ride against you. They didn't even love you enough to say she would never do nothing like that. They didn't even love you that much. They automatically agreed. And ain't nobody got to come and tell me nothing because I overheard conversations of people automatically agreeing. Didn't say nothing. Didn't disagree. Didn't say, Star, I don't think you should hang out with such and such. No, nothing. Went along with it. God said he wanted you to see that before he give you what he getting ready to give you. You better be careful with who you welcome with open arms, not even knowing that they have every intent to tear you down. not even knowing they have every intent to if it was you, they slam the door in your face. Not even knowing if it was you, they would do everything in their power to make you feel uncomfortable. If it was you, they would do everything in their power to ensure that you don't receive what God had for you. They wouldn't help you. This same person, when I needed somebody to talk to, I don't think I can talk to you. I don't think I can talk to you because you making me sad. Oh, but I stayed up all late hours talking to her about nonsense, giving her advice that she refused to take. And typically when she refused to take it, she would end up having, it would be the worst outcome. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is at this point. But for somebody, God said he wanted you to peep it before he gave you what you are receiving, because he wants you to see what people think, how they feel, if they are genuine, if they are real when it comes to you. There are some people that just want what you have. There are some people that just want the lifestyle. They want this or they want that, or they just think that you shouldn't have it for one reason or another. And you don't want to have these kind of people around you. You don't want to have nobody around you that you get to a certain level and this person is doing everything in their power to call this person, that person, trying to get you fired or trying to make you lose this, and they trying to destroy your marriage, and they trying to destroy this, destroy that. And you know, for somebody, biggest thing about this message, especially when it comes to the scripture, they thought that your blessings were attached to a man. They thought what God had for you was attached to a man, and that it would be a man putting money in your hand. But it's not. God said he will be the one putting money in your hand. He will be the one blessing. You don't got nothing to do with no man. It has nothing to do with the man. Nothing. 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 It has nothing to do with the man. You don't even need a man to achieve what God has for you. And that's the truth. You don't. You don't need a man to achieve what God has for you. Now, it's going to take time. And it's taking time because, like I said, in this dream, I was coming from the back. But God wants you to see this. This is something God wants you to pay attention to, how people acting. God wants you to pay attention to how people is acting. Because when you get up to the front, you best believe even the people that was turning their nose up at you and they had all the negative, nasty things to say about you. They talked down about this. They talked down about that. They said all kinds of slimy, greasy, disgusting things about you. Gonna have their hand out, expecting the most luxurious this, and they expecting that, and they expecting this, and they expecting that. God said, he wants you to know who real. Who really love you, who genuinely care about you, when you ain't have all that, when you wasn't up there yet, when you was on your way to getting up there. He wants you to know who real. God said real recognize real. And when you have to get it out the mud, you're going to be able to peep it. That's the message. That's the message, y'all, baby. That's the message. That's the message. That's the message. That's the message. And that's the message, Simone. That is the message. Baby. That was a long one. Now I got to make me some more tea. And I'll see y'all with the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.